Why are Bretons always so good at remaining calm? That's because they know how to shield their emotions. What's going on, YouTube? So March is also going to be bringing with us some PvE farms. There's going to be some really exclusive farms that we're going to be able to get for some great style pages. And we're also going to break down some of the other things coming in the month of March through the actual Crown Store showcase. But we're going to focus primarily on some of those great farms and why you may want to do them. So to quickly go through all the cosmetic stuff, there's going to be the new statue for the month, as well as this Clockwork Tinkerer. Then we have our actual arm pack, so I'm going to come back to this, just because this is the meat and potatoes of the video, as well as the other one. Music box, there's going to be a mount, some returning items, some costumes. Then we have the Passion one. This is not an arms pack, in the sense that it's not tied to a dungeon. However, there is Pirate Skeleton up here, which is, so we will talk about Pirate Skeleton. We have the Grim Harlequin crates. We've got the house, which is actually, this is actually a pretty banger house, honestly. This is also a pretty banger house, honestly, too. I think you got this house for free back in the day. But if you didn't get it, it's a really good looking house. You can put a lot of furniture in here, considering how, like, well-sized it is. Then we have a nice little furniture trial boss. Some music bosses, statues, house guests will be available, skins, personalities, customizable actions. An Evergloam Indrake, which is interesting because it's like there's already bajillion Indrakes already in there. We'll also have a bunch of other items in here that are to be determined when they leave. But you could see that there's a bunch of other mounts in here as well for that period. And then we also have a bunch of pets, and event tickets are also going to be available during the actual Jesters Festival. These mounts will be departing, so just keep that in mind if you really love any of these specific ones. The Cave Bear mount, I know, is a favorite amongst people, so if you do want it, make sure that you get it before it goes. But to focus on the big meat and potatoes, because this arms pack is tied to a dungeon. Now, this is a special one because this one has never been done before. So Balsanar is one of the newer dungeons in ESO, and it obviously has an associated arms pack that goes along with it. And during that time period, that being from March 20th through April 21st, you can farm the dungeon on Veteran with a chance to get a rare style page. That style page is basically just how the monster set looks, but you get it as a style. That's kind of the head and shoulders of it, but you can see too that there's no listings of it because it's brand new. It being brand new means that it's going to be worth tons of money. The other thing to note about this too is that March is going to be kind of focused on PvE in the sense that there's new dungeons and stuff to focus on. And then there's going to be add-ons and things. It's also the month of a lot of PvP testing and continued PvP stuff. So a lot of people, I think, are going to kind of be ignoring Balsanar. So you've got something that's brand new, probably worth a lot of money because it's new and collectors don't have any access to get it. And there's going to be not as many people farming it as I think. Now, it's important to note again that it will be available for a large chunk of time. But that chunk of time is going to be pretty well occupied by, Golden Pursuits, the Vengeance Test, the Jesters Festival. So it's not going to be as focused on as I think a lot of people will, meaning that if you're watching this video and you can farm Veteran Balsanar, which is not very difficult, I pinky promise. I took people that barely had a pulse through there, my friends David, Travis, and Brandon. So if we can do it, you can do it. So how exactly does it work if you wanted to farm this dungeon? Well, quite simply, you just need to complete it on Veteran difficulty. However, if you have the achievement Telvanni Tormentor, you actually have a higher chance every time you complete the dungeon on Veteran to get the actual style page. So what does that mean? So Telvanni Tormentor is the hard mode clear. So if you complete the hard mode, you now have a greater odds to get the item on your Veteran run. So you don't have to run hard mode every single time, but you do want to try to complete the dungeon on hard mode to actually get the achievement, which will then give you a higher chance to get the item, when you actually do complete the dungeon on Veteran. But also importantly, this actually associates to the shoulder. So you can also get the monster style shoulder during this time window of March 20th through April 21st. All you're going to need to do is talk to Ergolurk here. You're going to go to their store, and at the very tippy top, it's going to say 50 keys you can buy Roksa's the style page of the shoulder. Now that's pretty good, but you can also use your one Undaunted key and roll a mystery coffer, which I would encourage you to do for Urglurk because, especially for her, all of the monster sets that she drops are actually very good. So you're going to be building out a very good repertoire of mystery shoulders that are just going to go to your sticker book and be very helpful for you. It's not curated, but you're still just rolling good odds to get them. You also are rolling for things such as the mercenary motif that you can see here, which is a very good motif to resell. And overall, it's just a really good use of your currencies, especially when the actual mystery person that you have to open for is Urglurk. Now, if you had to open through, Mr. Redbeard over here, probably not worth it as much. Now, you might think to yourself, Jake, what's the difference? Why is it sometimes the 50 key shoulder is with one person versus another? It just depends on what associated dungeon. If it was like City of Ash 1, you'd be talking to Mr. Redbeard. If it's, obviously Belsonar, or, you're talking to this guy over here. So that's why sometimes it's different. The nice thing, too, is that having that achievement for hard mode clear, so you can see that Telvanni Tormentor increases the odds of both items dropping. So using your mystery coffer will now be boosted when you're actually rolling for those shoulders with that mystery coffer as well. So it's a great use of those Undaunted keys. And if you're like me, you don't like to farm Undaunted keys, so you really want to use them well. A brand new monster style that hasn't been available before is probably a pretty good use of them. But then we also have Pirate Skeleton as a farm from March 17th through March 24th. Now this one is also very special because this takes place again in a big transitional time period, lots of events and blah, blah, blah things going on. And Pirate Skeleton is one of those monster sets that's worth a lot, but it's also not worth enough in the sense that a lot of people are not going to farm this, but the people who do will make a lot of money because it's not worth a lot to make everybody and their mom start farming this dungeon, but it's definitely enough to make a few people who are like, ooh, this is a good money farm that a lot of people are ignoring. And that is Pirate Skeleton. So Pirate Skeleton is everything we just talked about, but it's from Veteran of Blackheart Haven. A significantly easier dungeon, but it's only available from March 17th through the 24th. So that's, again, very important. Same concept, have the hard mode clear, increase the drops. This dungeon, by the way, is also very, very quick. You can farm this very, very fast. And the actual mask itself actually looks pretty cool. It's literally just you become a pirate face, a skeleton. So you could see here that there's a good value for this item. Being around 1.8 million on average is a pretty good average price range to be in. 7 listings though is very small. So that may go up, obviously, during the event. But this is one of the ones that I just want to highlight because it's a base game dungeon. It's very easy to do. The hard mode's very easy to get. You could actually probably just queue into people farming this dungeon. It's so easy to do. Now, this one, notably, though, you have to talk to Gilrons. Now, that is Mr. Redbeard. So, unfortunately, if you did want to roll your one mystery keys, you're not going to be getting very good monster sets. You're going to be getting like the curated City of Ash ones, Crypt of Heart. So it's probably not worth rolling your Undaunted keys on this shoulder versus the other one. But it is still a decent-ish shoulder in the grand scheme of shoulders. Because as you can see, it's worth still quite a bit. But you do have to look, though. There's only 3 listings. So you do have to take this with a grain of salt that there is definitely a lack of sales history. And when there was more sales history, you could see that we had some big listings, a while ago, and our values used to be all over the place for this shoulder. So normally I would say, guys, look, it's worth 1.149 million gold. That's crazy for a shoulder. Woo! But I can't lie to you. I mean, look at the value of what this thing has done. I mean, it's seen some big lows, So I can't ignore this data for you, even though it'd be great for a thumbnail. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. Again, you probably still could make some decent money off of this. You just might have to just sell it at a different time period because you could see the market for this shoulder is so weird. But everyone, thank you so much again for watching. To wrap up, I think Blackheart Haven is probably the easier of the dungeons to farm if you're a new player. Even if you don't have that same time window of, a whole month essentially to farm it. I do love Roksa's, though. I think Roksa's is one of the best monster sets in the game for sustain. I even think it's better than Wretched Vitality because it allows you to have essentially 3 extra slots to still use, but that's a hot take for another day. So thank you one last time for watching. We are 24 subs away from our next goal, so please hit the sub button. It'll enter you into our giveaway drawing. Second thing you have to do for our second drawing is just like the video and leave a comment. And the third thing is look for a hidden word be flashed up on the screen. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will win. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.